Have you been paying attention to the smallest disruptions lately? Those barely noticeable, yet recurring intrusions that find their way into your most intimate spaces. Your kitchen, your bed, your floor. Ants. Not just insects, not just a seasonal nuisance. They arrive silently, without announcement, creeping along edges, corners, and walls you thought were clean and sealed. And even after you clean, they return, again and again. This is not just about bugs, not for you, Capricorn. This is about what they symbolize. This is about something spiritual slipping through the cracks, something subtle but persistent. You clean the mess, you burn the sage, you pray with intention, and yet they keep coming. That heaviness in the room, that weight in your chest, it's not just exhaustion. It's not just emotional fatigue. Something in your environment has shifted. And before the mind can explain it, the soul already knows. The ants are not coming for food. They are coming because something unseen is already there. Capricorn, your home is more than a shelter. It is an extension of your spiritual field. It holds your thoughts, your routines, your prayers, and your peace. And when that peace is breached, the signs arrive first in whispers. Not with alarms, not with chaos, but with a line of tiny, persistent messengers. Messengers crawling across your awareness like a quiet knock from the universe itself. Before we go any further, share your birth date and zodiac sign in the comments. You might be surprised to find how many others have felt the same pull, seen the same signs, and silently wondered what they meant. And if you're here now, this is a message you were meant to receive. Subscribe to Signs and Secrets, because messages like this come exactly when your spirit needs them. Now, Capricorn, reflect. Have you been feeling disconnected from your own sanctuary? Have you been waking up tired, even after a full night's rest? Have conversations in your home become shorter, tenser, colder? That is not your imagination. That is not just a rough week. That is your soul detecting the shift long before your mind caught up. You see, the ants don't invade randomly. They sense energy imbalances. They follow the trail of misalignment before it becomes obvious. And for someone like you, grounded, stable, always the one holding everything together, that's easy to overlook. You've been taught to look out for dramatic changes, for visible threats. But what if the first warning isn't the storm? It's the silence before it. Capricorn, like many ancient signs, ants carry more meaning than meets the eye. Across cultures, they've symbolized unseen messages, emotional shifts, spiritual disruptions. Their patterns, their persistence, their presence, none of it is accidental, especially not in your home, your temple. When they show up again and again, not because of crumbs or spills, but in places that are spotless, sacred, still, that's when you know. Something has crossed the spiritual boundary, something foreign, something heavy. And now, more than ever, your awareness is your protection. Midway through this reflection, I invite you to support this space with a like. It helps keep messages like this moving through the algorithm to those who need it most. And it affirms your own intuition, that what you're hearing isn't just relevant, it's necessary. The ants appear where peace is beginning to weaken, not in a dramatic way, but in subtle, slow motion. A drawer that feels harder to open, a room that no longer feels comforting, a space that holds tension instead of rest. Capricorn, the divine doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes that whisper comes in the form of a crawling signal that something is energetically out of sync.
What have you been allowing into your life lately without full awareness? Who have you welcomed into your space without reading their energy properly? What conversations, thoughts, or inner doubts have you been entertaining that might be opening doors you didn't mean to open? Because not every visitor enters with footsteps. Some arrive in the form of heavy silence, unresolved arguments, unspoken jealousy, or emotional residue left behind by someone who smiled at you but carried chaos within. And when that energy finds a way in, through a person, a thought, or a habit, the ants begin to crawl. They come not to frighten you, but to prepare you.
Capricorn, your inner world is being stirred, and these signs, they are divine alerts, wake-up calls for the soul. Your job now is to listen, to observe, to respond. Capricorn, you were never built for oblivion. Your nature is grounded, alert, wise. You carry the weight of others with silent strength, and because of that, you often neglect your own inner shifts. You deal with life as it comes, organized, precise, determined. But even the strongest among us need to notice when the invisible world starts speaking louder than words. When ants show up in places that make no logical sense, in the bathroom despite no food, in sealed cabinets, or in freshly cleaned corners, they aren't following sugar. They're following imbalance, spiritual disorder, a presence that has disrupted the alignment of your sacred space. They're warning you your peace is leaking. Sometimes this disruption is not caused by others. Sometimes it's the sadness you've suppressed for too long, the stress you've absorbed but never released, the thought patterns you've carried that quietly sabotage your rest. Capricorn, your space holds on to your emotional blueprint. Every choice, every interaction, every thought that lingers too long echoes through your environment. And the ants? They respond not to what you've cleaned, but to what you've buried. Think about the rooms where they gather. What conversations have happened there? What emotions were felt in that exact space? Was there tension? Was there a visitor whose smile masked something darker? The truth is, energy leaves traces. Even after a person is gone, their emotional residue can stay. And nature, in all its wisdom, reacts. Not to punish, but to inform, to awaken. Let this sink in, Capricorn. Your home is a mirror. When you feel off, your space reflects it. When your peace is disturbed, your surroundings begin to whisper warnings. But you've been so focused on holding everything together that you forgot to stop and ask, what have I allowed into my life that doesn't belong? This is your invitation to pause, to breathe, to reclaim. And if you've been feeling something off in your finances, listen even more closely. Because the ants don't just show up when spiritual peace is threatened. They also appear when your provision is being drained. You've been working hard, saving, planning, doing what you've always done, but lately, the money disappears faster. Unexpected bills show up, delays happen, losses repeat, and you're left wondering, what shifted? Capricorn, this isn't just bad luck, it's energetic interference. When your space becomes cluttered with the wrong vibration, fear, confusion, bitterness, your financial flow suffers, your opportunities slow, your momentum stalls. And when the ants appear in spaces tied to your work, your rest, or your resources, they're delivering a sacred alert. You were born with a blueprint for success. Your structure, your vision, your persistence, these are divine gifts. But they function best when your spiritual foundation is stable, when your inner world is balanced, when your peace is protected. So, if the ants have been showing up and your finances have also felt unsteady, this is not coincidence. This is confirmation. They are not your problem. They are your proof. Your proof that energy is leaking, that something foreign is disrupting your natural rhythm, that your home, the vessel for your spirit, is signaling for intervention. But don't just react physically. Don't just clean the counters or spray the corners. Go deeper. Address the energy. Speak to the atmosphere. Reclaim the power you've been slowly giving away. Capricorn, let's start simple. Open the windows. Let new energy move. Speak life into your space. Walk through each room with intention. Remove what feels heavy. Revisit the objects you've held onto that carry old wounds. Let them go. Not in bitterness, but in freedom. Because your home isn't just a collection of walls, it's an energetic ecosystem, one that supports your growth or holds you back.
This may feel intense, even emotional, but that's because you're entering a spiritual reset, not out of fear, but out of clarity. When something tries to cloud your path, the universe responds. It speaks to you through dreams, through silence, and yes, even through ants. Capricorn, let's go even deeper. Because when the ants begin to crawl into your dreams, the message becomes undeniable. Have you seen them there, marching across your bed, appearing in corners of your room, swarming silently through your mind while you sleep? These are not random dream fragments. These are spiritual symbols. The dream realm is sacred. It is the bridge between the physical and the unseen. And when something enters that space, it carries meaning. Ants in dreams are not about fear. They are about infiltration. They show you what has slipped through your spiritual defenses while your conscious mind was resting. They speak to burdens you've been carrying silently, to the emotional weight you've ignored, to the presence of people who smile in daylight but carry dark intentions after sunset. You may wake from these dreams feeling unsettled. You may feel as if something followed you into the day. That is your intuition responding, your spirit saying, notice this, protect this, because when your dreams are interrupted, your alignment is under pressure. This is the moment you stop brushing it off. Rise, speak over your bedroom, open your window, light a candle, not just for aroma, but for authority. Walk with intention through every space and say aloud, this is my sanctuary. No heaviness belongs here. No spiritual intruder is welcome here. I cleanse this space with peace. And don't forget, sometimes it's not just people you've allowed in. Sometimes it's thoughts, regrets, fears, or objects that carry energy that doesn't serve you anymore. That photo you've held onto, even though it brings sadness, that gift from someone who betrayed you, that drawer filled with just-in-case emotions. Let it all go. Clear it. Because what stays physically will also linger energetically.
Capricorn, the ants are messengers. They gather in spaces where energy stagnates, where spiritual protection has grown thin. You don't have to fear them. You have to understand them. They are there because your spirit has already sensed what your mind is only beginning to accept. Something in your home is not in alignment with your peace. This is where your strength becomes sacred. You were born with resilience. You were born to endure. But this is not about endurance, it's about discernment. You've been holding on to things that you should have already released. You've been explaining away your discomfort when you should have been cleansing it. If this speaks to you, pause and support this message by liking the video. Your engagement isn't just an act of kindness. It's an affirmation that you're reclaiming your space, your energy, your spiritual center. And it helps others find this message exactly when they need it. Now, breathe. This is not superstition. This is spiritual sensitivity. It's time to listen to the whispers, not just the thunder, to honor the signals before the storms. You might be remembering now someone you let in recently who carried a heaviness, a visit that seemed harmless, but since then your rest has been uneasy, your thoughts more scattered, the air in your home feels dense. Capricorn, this is not in your head, this is in your field, and the ants are responding to it because even the smallest spiritual disruption leaves behind a trail. Let's ground this with a real story. There was a Capricorn woman, quiet, steady, and private. Her home was her haven. She didn't entertain chaos. She didn't let just anyone cross her threshold. But one week, a friend came to stay. This friend was kind on the outside, helpful, even sweet. But within her spirit, she carried resentment, jealousy, inner unrest. Nothing she said revealed it, but her energy did.
And after that visit, the Capricorn woman noticed something different. The house felt heavier. Her sleep changed. Her mood changed. And then the ants came. Every night, new lines. Every morning, new trails. But nothing in the house explained it. No mess, no food left out, just a spiritual breach. That friend didn't bring physical clutter, but she left energetic residue. And the ants were the messengers of that silent invasion. Capricorn, don't ignore the signs. They're not just physical, they are spiritual narratives. They are the way your soul speaks when words are not enough. When the divine sees your energy being compromised, it sends the signal. And it's up to you to listen. Now that you've seen the signs, Capricorn, and now that you've understood what they truly mean, the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? Because this isn't just about eliminating insects, it's about reclaiming your sanctuary. It's about cleansing the space you rest, dream, love, cry, and rebuild in. The place where your soul recharges must not hold anything that drains you. Start with the air. Open every window. Let movement return to the spaces that have stayed too still. Let light pour into the corners you've ignored. Air and sunlight are not just physical elements, they're energetic tools. They move stagnant vibrations and clear spiritual residue. Let them work for you. Then, clean. Not just the surfaces, go deeper. Behind the doors, under the furniture, inside the drawers you haven't opened in months. Ants, like heavy energy, love the forgotten places, the unseen, the unacknowledged. These places collect emotional dust, memories, pain, shadows we thought we had buried. Clean them with presence. Clean them with purpose. Next, bring fire. A candle, a match, incense, not just to burn but to signal. Fire purifies, smoke reveals. As the flame flickers, speak, not softly but with conviction. Say, this home belongs to peace. No hidden energy is welcome here. I cleanse the space in the name of light, clarity, and divine protection.
Don't stop there. Pray, meditate, sit in silence and listen to how your spirit reacts in each room. If a space feels heavy, stay longer. If your heart races in a certain corner, trust that. Let peace expand. Let fear shrink. Don't rush this process. It is not a task. It is a ritual. It is a reset. And then comes the hardest part, letting go. Let go of the objects that carry old emotions. That item your ex gave you, that photo of someone who betrayed you, that drawer of someday items that never bring joy. If it holds pain, it holds power, and you need that power back. Capricorn, your home is sacred ground. Your presence alone should set the atmosphere. You are not meant to live in tension. You are not built to carry unseen weight in your sanctuary. And when you take this spiritual authority back, you realign your energy with your purpose. Ants don't thrive in places full of light, order, and peace. They thrive in confusion, in spiritual disarray, in environments that have forgotten how to guard their own gates. So bring your light back. Speak your peace back into existence. Reconnect your space with your strength. Because here's the truth that most people miss. The ants were never the threat. They were the signal. The advanced scouts of the spiritual world saying, "You've forgotten to protect this. And now you remember." Capricorn, your home is sacred ground. Your presence alone should set the atmosphere. You are not meant to live in tension. You are not built to carry unseen weight in your sanctuary. And when you take this spiritual authority back, you realign your energy with your purpose. Ants don't thrive in places full of light, order, and peace. They thrive in confusion, in spiritual disarray, in environments that have forgotten how to guard their own gates. So bring your light back. Speak your peace back into existence. Reconnect your space with your strength. Because here's the truth that most people miss. The ants were never the threat. They were the signal. The advanced scouts of the spiritual world saying, "You've forgotten to protect this. And now you remember."
When you notice the ants, don't just kill them. Ask them what they came to reveal. What energy opened the door? What part of your heart has been left vulnerable? And then answer it, not with fear, but with presence. Because this moment is about power, about authority, about sovereignty. You're not just reacting, you're rebuilding. Now, let me speak to you directly. If your finances have felt blocked, if your sleep has been disturbed, if your home has felt heavier than usual, this is your confirmation. The signs have been speaking. In your dreams, in your rooms, in your mood. And now you know how to listen. This is where spiritual maturity begins, not in denying what's uncomfortable, but in responding to it with wisdom. You cleanse, you protect, you bless, you remove what weakens and rebuild what strengthens. Say it aloud. Only peace lives here. Only clarity remains. Anything that doesn't belong must go. And if this message has stirred something in you, if your soul feels seen, if your spirit feels understood, write it in the comments now. I see the sign. Let your voice affirm what your heart already knows. Let your words declare your spiritual awakening. And don't keep this message to yourself. Subscribe to Signs and Secrets so you never miss what the universe is trying to tell you. Your next message might come exactly when your peace needs it most. Also, show your support by liking this video. It keeps this space alive for others like you, navigating signs, seeking clarity, holding space for the sacred within the ordinary. Capricorn, you were never meant to live unaware. Even the ants knew it was time. Heaven has been whispering to you through the walls, through the silence, through the smallest movements. And now that you've noticed, now that you've listened, now that you've responded, everything begins to shift. You are not alone. You are protected. You are being reminded. Keep your space holy. Keep your peace guarded. And the next time the ants come, don't panic. Just smile. Because now, you know exactly what they mean.